undergraduate?
Colorado School of Mines.
Did you like it?
I did, yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah. But I loved it. I love Colorado. Yeah. Yeah, my company, I was in the Denver office for a really long time, so I'm still associated with the Denver office, and so I go back 3 or 4 times a year at least. Yeah.
Where's your major client? Is he local?
Hey Neil, how you doing?
No, my major client, they're on the western slope of Colorado. Yeah. So I was working remote with them before I even was fully remote. Yeah.
I miss it bad.
Yeah, honestly, it's been really nice. And I've been working with that same client like the last 8 years. So
Does it feel like full time?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. They should just hire me instead of paying consultant prices. But I like my consulting job more.
A little more freedom.
Absolutely.
During COVID, I was employed by the VA to a good amount of the COVID period. I was working from home, and they were counting keystrokes.
Oh yeah, no, we don't do that. That's terrible. Yeah.
I had one day where I couldn't get internet, and my phone wasn't working, nothing's working. And the next day, they were ready to fire me. So I tried all day, I just couldn't get on.
Yeah, that's outrageous. I'm glad my company doesn't have that kind of oversight. Like as long as you're billing your time, you're good.
No, that's okay. It's an easy one tonight. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have 6:02. We're going to go ahead and call the regular session for City Council on Tuesday, August 11 to order. Madam Secretary, if you would conduct a roll call for us, please.
Present?
Here.
And just for the record, we also have our city attorney is with us, and of course, our city manager to my right, your left. So, okay, if I can get everybody to please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. And Councilman Bishop, if you would lead us, please.
Gracious God, we just thank you so much for today. And God, I pray that you will continue just to help our city grow in unity and a lot of gratitude, lots of things to be thankful for.
And I'll lead in the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, one and indivisible. One state under God. Oh, I did it wrong. Under God. One state. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Yee-haw.
There we go.
Sorry.
Thank you, Larry.
All right, thank you all. Thank you out there. Larry, you know who you are, so. Okay, citizens' comments on agenda items. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address topics of interest with a presentation limited to 3 minutes, please. Please note the little stoplight over here for your awareness. All speakers will conduct themselves in an orderly and lawful manner. All speakers will be recognized prior to speaking, will announce their name and address to be included in the minutes. State law prohibits the mayor and members of council from commenting on any statement or engaging in dialogue without an appropriate agenda item posted in accordance with the Texas open meeting laws. Ms. Hartman, if you would, please.
I think it's on. Good evening, and I want to say very much I appreciate everything the staff has done and council has done, especially Carly, in the budget presentation. I'm excited to get a copy so I can follow along a little bit better with it. But I do want to say, I didn't want to steal the thunder of the audits, but I'm going to, since you brought it up in your prayer. Thank God our 2024 audits are done. Woo-hoo! I was going to leave that for your thunder, okay. But, and I just want to say how brilliant, one, because I've been talking about this for 5 years, but to outsource to people that are highly qualified with everything we need to help us in this endeavor. So thank you, Carly, for doing that for our city. That is a tremendous step forward, and it is so much appreciated. And I just wanted to say that I hope in our updates, we kind of get a little updates on the roads, you know, with the road situation. I know the council budgeted over $500,000 on those. And then also Ansay Park, I'm anxious to hear, you know, how that's going. And so if we could get, maybe during the update period, if we could get that. And then also if you could, I couldn't really hear, I know there's going to be a public hearing on the budget, and I wasn't clear on that date. So if y'all will just somehow within your, among yourselves, give us a date. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Let's see, next up, Paula. Please, ma'am.
Mayor and council members, thank you for your time. I have one up. Yes, we have some handouts for you. Thank you. My name is Paula Bukaitis. I am the CEO of Girl Scouts of Central Texas. And I'm here because we operate Bluebonnet Shores Girl Scout Camp here in Morgan's Point Resort. Each year, we're serving about 2,500 girls at that camp. They're participating in programs to learn to love the outdoors, and they're on the shores of Lake Belton. We've been part of the community since 1960, and we appreciate our partnership with the city, especially the emergency services personnel who help keep our campers safe. I'm here tonight because we need help understanding our water bill. In April, the utility department informed us that our camp had been underbilled for more than a year and that we owed approximately $140,000 in additional water charges for a 12-month period. It came as a surprise because for the previous 5 years, our annual water costs were about $25,000 per year. As the CEO of this organization, I have a fiduciary responsibility to understand the expenses we pay and to be able to explain them to our board of directors and our members. Since April, our team has spent many hours reviewing the information provided by the city. They very generously sent our metering information and our billing, et cetera. We do manage multiple properties across Central Texas, and so our staff is used to seeing utility bills and meter data. And so I just want to show you a simple comparison. So in the handout on this first page, so for years, our annual water usage was about 2 million gallons. And based on the city's recent calculations, we're now being told that our water usage exceeded 9 million gallons in a 12-month period. That's the orange bar. So as you can see from that is more than 4 times our historical usage. We've had no leaks, and we've actually had fewer visitors at camp in the last 16 months. So after seeing that difference, we began reviewing the records provided by the city. And we found that the historical billing information, the meter data, and the billing calculations provided to us don't tell the same story. And that's what the second chart shows. The orange line is the amount that the city has said that we owe. That's the usage that they've provided to us. And the green line is what the meter data that the city also provided to us said we've used. So there's a pretty big discrepancy. Because of those questions, we've repeatedly requested a meeting with city staff to review the information and better understand how the charges were calculated. And unfortunately, those requests have not resulted in a meeting. So meanwhile, we're being charged approximately $8,000 per month under a payment plan that we have not agreed to. That is a significant amount of money for Girl Scouts. We are a nonprofit. It is money that we would otherwise use to support camp improvements. Is that 3 minutes? Okay, so I'm asking for a meeting with a staff member, maybe the director of public utilities. That is all we want right now, is a meeting to help us understand this.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, JoJo.
This is probably going to be the shortest one I've ever done, guys. JoJo Guzman, 22 Willow Run. I just want to say it was a breath of fresh air for once to listen and have some audit stuff accomplished, to actually have some clear budget guidelines accomplished. I mean, you all don't know. I mean, it has been a breath of fresh air, and I'm just thankful that we actually have something to where I can actually understand, and I work in finance. And I can actually understand what's going on right now. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I told you, really short this time.
Thank you, ma'am. Barbara Lineham.
She just wanted you to know she's here.
Duly noted.
Barbara Lyman.
This is what everybody's been using. Yeah, so, okay. Your presence is duly noted, madam. Okay, thank you all. Okay, moving on, staff reports and recognition. First up, we have Best Day Human Resources Mentorship Services, Developmental Services Staffing Update. Ms. Pearson, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mayor. These are just my quick city manager updates, and I do actually want to add something. Thank you, Ms. Hartman. You had, one question was about the streets, because money had been in the 2025 budget for that, and it was moved around. So it was not there for streets. Nothing was allocated to that behind the scenes. So we now, the auditors and CFOs and myself, have cleaned it up so that this year we will be starting as soon as possible. So we're trying to find something that we can do before the October 1st hits, and if not, it will be in October. But we are going to start hitting those streets. We did find the pavement condition index that had been done. We can start there. We don't have any history on that, so if it's, inadequate, we don't know yet, but we'll evaluate that with our current city engineers. But yes, that is definitely on our radar and was something that was very confusing as we went through the numbers from the budget to what was actually moved around to spend on other things. So that was clarified in the audit, but we are working on that. The second thing was Ansay Park improvements, same thing. So we are just trying to find what the prior administration did and where they put it, so that we can go ahead and order some stuff. We cannot clarify that just yet. We're working on that, but we do think we have found a fund that I can at least get the Director of Public Works to purchase something to get us going with the Ansay Park improvements. That's a goal of mine. I'm trying to find a date in September, but that's a busy month for our council, so maybe the first weekend of October to have a city manager meet and greet in Ansay Park is my goal, and I would like to have some improvements there. So we're working very, very hard on that, but it was a bit confusing. But yes, that was a great question. The ones I do have on my list, we have hired Best Day Human Resources Mentorship Services is actually a retired police chief, very decorated, and he is coming to work with our police chief to provide mentorship services, also with our fire chief in their department. He's very, very well respected. And Chief Hodge and I have visited about it and think it'd be a great idea for our department, and just to have some mentorship for the city. It's a very low cost to us because he's actually lives in my hometown near my parents, so he's going to come and do us a favor and meet with Hodge. And so we're very, very excited to get started with the Public Safety Department on that. And the other one is we have reallocated one of the positions that the former CFO, HR, ACM, tribe position. We've moved one of those into a normal position for development services. That's land development and economic development. So the citizens and our P&Z and our EDC will have a staff liaison to go to for everything related to permits and planning and plats and EDC and city plans, including our comp plan, and some of the things we want to actually move the needle on. So I'm very excited about that, seeing who we do have an offer letter out, but we're hopeful. So we'll see. But those are my main updates for today, Council.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Moving forward to the consent agenda, Council, the only thing on the consent agenda is discuss and take appropriate action on the minutes of the regular session City Council meeting for July 14th. If there's no request to pull those or discuss, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as it is written.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ms. Murillo, did you get that? Okay, 4-0 on the vote. Okay, thank you, council. Moving on to the regular agenda, consideration items. First up, discussion, consideration, and provide direction to staff regarding disposition of municipal court citations over 2 years old. Ms. Pearson, that's you again, please.
How do I do it? Okay, thank you, Mayor and Council. This is a presentation on the court citations backlog. So the backlog is about a decade at least. That's as far back as I can see. It's well over 1,000 tickets. And these tickets and citations and violations in the state of Texas have a 2-year statute of limitations. The reason why this is a presentation is because there are certain legal ways you can toll that. One of them is if a official charging document, which is not as straightforward as it sounds, it's not always the citation you get from the officer at your car window, has been filed within the 2 years. We don't know if that was done. There are no records. A lot of the records were destroyed by the previous administration in a potential scanning in type thing that didn't work with a private company that didn't work. So we cannot really adequately promise you we could perform an audit of which ones prior to 2024 could even be legally prosecuted. Those statute of limitations have told. That is about 640 citations since at least 2016, maybe before. I can't speak to how or why those citations weren't prosecuted or what happened or why nothing was done with them, but that is the case. It is a revenue loss from, those prior years. However, even if they were recoverable under the law and the statute was still told, you wouldn't probably recover but a small percentage of that. You're going to have to find people from a decade ago, do the audit to prove that you did your legal part, and they would have to challenge you and prove their part in court. We don't have the finances to do the audit. We don't have the finances to fight them in court. So that would just be a potential loss anyway. We do still have between 350 and 500 that are backlogged from 2024. We need to focus on those before their statute of limitations tolls. We only have one court clerk and one prosecutor, and they are willing to work with Ms. Marilolo, who's over our municipal court, to make sure that those are prosecuted within their statute of limitations so we can collect that revenue. It should be between $82,000 and $100,000. So still good if we can collect that now. So it is the state law that the statute of limitations is run. My recommendation is to formally direct staff to remove and close out the ones prior to 2024 that statute of limitations has expired on. This will allow our limited staff to prosecute the ones that are 2 years old, almost 350 to 500, to collect on those and to move forward with the tickets that our police officers are issuing today and tomorrow and not get backlogged again. So this will allow us to collect that revenue. It's a pretty significant sum. It will allow us to continue to collect revenue going forward and to prosecute the tickets in a timely manner. That also impacts the defendants and the citizens. If you do get a ticket here, there's no reason you should hear from us 2 or 10 years later. You should be able to come and defend yourself within that 30 days. So we would like to be compliant with that. So my recommendation is that, and we are looking for direction to staff to proceed with that option or anything that council may wish. Do you have any questions?
Council, for your consideration, we've got option 1 and option 2. So city manager is looking for guidance on which option is your preference. Open the floor to you guys.
I'd like to move consistent with the manager's proposal that we do away with all of those citations that have expired statute of limitations. That we pursue the more recent within the 2-year period.
any, it's not a formal motion, so it's just, no, you're okay. It's a show of hands essentially, just providing guidance.
yeah.
So,
I think
Um,
option one is, it was the right choice.
Yep. I agree,
okay, so I'm hearing option one is the guidance. Okay,
which is,
Ms.
to-
Pearson, if
which
you
is
would.
to
Yes,
get
sir.
rid of the
So
backlog.
the direction
and
to
roll
myself and
24
staff
on.
is to close out and completely remove the ones prior to 2024 and pursue the ones from August of 2024 onward and continue to keep up and come up with new policies to ensure that. Okay, thank you,
Yes, ma'am.
council.
Okay, council, next up is resolutions. We'll start with resolution 26041, discussion, consideration, possible action on resolution of city council on insurance renewal with Texas Health Benefits Risk Pool for employee benefits for FY 26-27. So that's Brinson Benefits. Look at that. Jason up there at the podium, ready to go for us. Good evening, thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor and City Council, for your time. I'm Jason Rispy. I'm a Senior Account Executive with Brinson Benefits. We have been the benefits advisors for the City of Morgan's Point Resort for several years now. At the direction of the city manager, we went out to bid and performed an RFP on behalf of the City of Morgan's Point Resort. We were able to get a couple of bids from different carriers. One of them was Baylor Scott and White, and the other was the incumbent carrier, which is Texas Health Benefits Pool. Baylor Scott and White's Baylor Scott and White's proposal was would provide a significant increase to the city, which would not be feasible. So we were able to go and negotiate with Texas Health Benefits Pool. Texas Health Benefits Pool has been the provider over the last couple of years, and if we go on to slide 2, what everybody looks at is medical loss ratios whenever we're looking at carriers. Carriers will look at your medical loss ratios. They'll also look at the size of your city. There are some carriers who will not consider cities because the cities have firefighters or they have police officers. So there's some carriers that do not want that risk pool. Texas Health Benefits Pool does. Your medical loss ratio for the prior 12 months from 4/1 of 2025 to 3/31 of 2026 was approximately 52.80%, which actually is favorable. There were a few months after that that actually ticked up just a little bit. Then the prior year was 106.47, and the year before that was 113.27. The reason that I bring that up is because insurance carriers are looking for a rate of loss ratio of approximately 75% or less for them to actually be quote unquote profitable. I have my own theories about that, but anyway, that being said, we went out, we went to the different providers. Texas Health Benefits Pool gives us an early renewal, 90 days out. We went ahead and received that renewal. If we go out to bid and perform an RFP, the Texas Health Benefits Pool will not guarantee that rate, and they go out and they remarket and they re-rate us. They actually did go up from 14.45% to a 16.08% increase. And we were able to go back and negotiate them back to the original proposal. Baylor Scott and White's increase was over 50%, so there was no way that we could handle that as a city. With regard to the medical side, what we do is we present that for formal council review. And then also with your ancillary benefits, which is on the next page, has to deal with your life AD&D, long-term disability, dental, vision, and we look at all those and we take them out to bid. Your incumbent carrier, MetLife, your incumbent carrier Principal has your life AD&D, and they also have your dental and vision, and they were the ones that were the most competitive. Overall, whenever you looked at all of them put together, the renewal came out to be about 3.90. We had initial renewal that was going to result in a 4.7% increase or $1,074.24 increase, but we were able to get that down to $907.24 for as an overall annual increase. Any questions?
All right, council, anything? Okay, All right,
Thank you.
Okay, so,
go ahead.
thank you, Jason, and thank you to you and your team for all the help and taking us out to bid and getting those options and selecting Texas Health Benefits Pool. Once again, for providing us and our staff amazing coverage. So, and also for getting that rate down to that 14%. We're very, very grateful for that. We know a lot of cities went to 18 to 20%, so great job. And thank you for all your hard work. And now I'll turn it back over to the chair for the passage of the resolution. It does need to be adoption. So this is a formal action by council.
Yes, ma'am. So council, at this time, resolution 26041, I'll accept a motion on the resolution, city council, for the insurance renewal with Texas Health Benefits Risk Pool for employee benefits for FY 2026, 2027.
Move to approve resolution 26041.
Second.
Sarah second.
Sarah with a second. Ms. Merrill, did you get that? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 4-0 on resolution 26041. Thank you, council. Next is resolution 26042, discussion, consideration, possible action on the resolution, city council directing the deactivation, removal, and cessation of all but one flock safety Inc. camera technology installations within the city jurisdictions and any necessary amendments to the contract thereof. Chief Hodge.
Mayor, council, I appreciate y'all having me in front of y'all. So quick presentation on the flock camera system. Kind of go over some brief history. August 2021 is when we signed our first initial 2-year contract for 4 flock cameras. At the time, it was $10,000 with a $1,000 annual implementation fee. August 14, 2021, City Council approved the resolution for the $11,000 and did a budget amendment. Sorry. Then in 2025, we did a contract renewal to that contract. It would be actually the 3rd time we renewed that contract, or 2nd time, sorry. The police department signed that. Renewal covered the 4 Falcon cameras at an annual cost increase to $12,000, and that's a 20% increase from what our initial contract was with Flock. And then last year, we did the expansion with the MVPCA grant. We signed that contract December 8th, and that was a 1-year agreement. That contract expires December 2026, and that cost was $13,500. That included 3 Falcon cameras, 2 Condor video cameras, and 1 Falcon Flex. Little area here, they couldn't, due to TxDOT, we lost out one of the Falcons. They put in a Flex because they couldn't put the video in the state right away. June 10th, 2025, the City Council approved the resolution. July 24th, 2025, Police Department was approved for the grant. The city, we received the equipment, except for the video one. It's a reimbursement grant, so the police department has paid the $13,500. We have not been reimbursed for that as of yet. We now have a total of 12 cameras. I have, after reviewing the budget and speaking with my officers, determined that it's not beneficial or necessary for the city to have that many cameras. I believe there's other adequate ways to, number one, use that money financially responsible in other aspects for patrol officers, but also for the peace of mind for residents. My recommendation is to move down to 1 flock camera, which would be the 1 flock split camera that is currently attached to the speed trailer. That way we can, if we do have hot spots or increased areas of crime, we can deploy that trailer there, and it's not a constant area of surveillance. And also, it keeps us in the broader network of flock cameras throughout the county, so we still have access to flocks and can search other police databases. There is no penalty for the contract termination. We could pay up to $500 per camera pole that's mounted for removal. That's up to the discretion of flock if they want to charge the full amount or waive it. We'll find out at that time. So if we were to keep flock, the impact for next year would be $25,000. My recommendation, would be to approve the resolution as presented to terminate the flock program with the exception of one camera for the purpose of maintaining access to broader data for the time being, to be ultimately removed, as well as to fully terminate business with flock safety.
So I know Vega, the city, might have missed that just recently.
No, so what they're paying is the $500 to remove.
Okay.
Yeah. So each camera is gonna cost them 500, depends how long the cameras have been there. So the longer they're there, the less it is. We have 7 poles. So, yeah. No, go. Yeah.
Block camera programs throughout the country have become
Yes, sir.
popular programs.
So before we go into the resolution, would you mind just explaining to us what a flock camera is and does?
So a flock camera, as you see them, the first 4 original were at every entrance of the city. It had one at Oakmont Park, and as a vehicle enters the city, as the vehicle passes it, it takes a photo of the rear of the vehicle. At that time, it is then ran through TCIC, NCIC, and that looks for warrants, any missing or abducted children or persons, if the vehicle's stolen, if the license plate's stolen. If none of that hits, we never know about it. It just keeps going through. That data that is passively retained, we keep it in 30 days for our access in the cloud. After 30 days, that data is no longer stored for the PD to get access to unless it's marked for investigation purposes. Now with the new cameras, the Falcons, they do have a video element on it. So that way, if you get a hit, you can pull up the camera and see which direction of travel it is going. If it went down the road and turned a little bit, or so on. Or if they hit like a stolen license plate, you can see what really good description of the vehicle and all that stuff.
Basically, the controversy is, on the one hand, very useful to law enforcement.
Yes, sir.
On the other hand, very intrusive to citizens. And the facility for abuse around the country, I don't imagine that would be a problem here.
Data has proved that they actually are beneficial to law enforcement. That's one of the controversies of that piece of the submission.
That is the controversy, yeah.
So our first year, we had 15 stolen vehicles recovered. The past year, we had 1. So at the beginning, it was really great for us. We were getting a lot of activity off of it. Of course, our crime rate was higher. We had a lot of vehicle break-ins, stolen vehicles, recovered stolen vehicles. But the past year, it's just nothing really.
So one, I think that's adequate.
Yeah, I think it's adequate.
You can move it around.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Council, if there's no other questions, I'll accept a motion on Resolution 26042, directing the deactivation, removal, and cessation of all but one Flock Safety Inc. camera and the technology installations within the city jurisdiction and any necessary amendment to the contract thereof.
I make a motion to,
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 4-0. Thank you, council. Okay, resolution 26043, discussion, consideration, possible action on a resolution to authorize recommendations or appointments of council member Samuel Palin as a member of the Bell County Public Health District Board. Ms. Marillo.
Okay, so staff recommends approval on RS 26043, and that is to authorize recommendation of council member Samuel Palin whenever there is an opening to be a member of the Bell County Public Health District Board.
Council, any questions?
Is there an opening now?
I think it's being held by Bruce.
Okay.
place, he withdrew.
Okay,
That's
okay,
what Bruce told me.
okay, all right, that's good.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna, if there's no additional questions, I'll accept a motion on 26043, authorizing recommendations or appointments. Councilmember Samuel Pellin is a member of the Bell County Public Health District Board.
I'll second.
Give her a second to get her notes.
And that was Bishop? To make
Yes.
a motion? Okay.
Councilmember Bishop with the primary and Stryker with the secondary motion. All those in favor?
Discussion first?
Ken, do you need to discuss or
Well,
is there an issue?
No, I was just gonna say, before we make the final vote, even though you don't have to be a medical personnel in order to serve on this board, I think it's very beneficial, and so I'm glad that Dr. Palin has agreed to serve. That's all I want to say.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 4-0 on that one. Okay, and finally, Resolution 26044, discussion, consideration, possible actions on a resolution to authorize recommendation or appointment of Mayor James Snyder as a local area representative for Central Texas Council of Governments, CITCOG. Ms. Marillo, again, please.
Staff would like to recommend the appointment of Mayor James Snyder as a local representative for this Central Texas Council of Governments, also known as CITCOG.
Council questions, go ahead.
Okay, I'll just, is that why you dressed up tonight? I just.
No.
Sorry.
No, no.
Okay. I move to accept resolution 26044.
Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? 4-0. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our business for this evening. It's been a very productive night. Thank you all for being here. Please be safe going home. We will adjourn.